All right, how about the 49ers, who, I gotta be honest, I didn't think they played their best game in this one. I think they actually could have put more points on the board. They beat themselves at times, but once it got going, it really got going for them. Let's talk about just how they were able to, the offense as a whole. It's kind of a Brock Purdy video, but, just the 49ers offense and what, it did so effectively against the Eagles. Let's start off with this play, because I think there's no denying there were just moments where they didn't look quite right, like they were doing things that were kind of beating themselves at time. This is a really unique play. So the way this is going to start is I've highlighted Christian McCaffrey. Watch what he's going to do. As you see, watch him go out and takes a few steps towards the outside, but he's still not moving forward. This is because obviously you can't be running forward when the ball is snapped or it'll be a penalty, so it just makes it easier to do this kind of thing. And now he's going to run a route, but he's a little bit further out there, so you can have an empty backfield but not give away that you have an empty backfield until right when you're about to snap. Kind of an interesting play call. So, the Eagles are in man coverage. There is a single safety deep on this play on a 3rd down and 12. So let's see what happens. Well, as you see, at first glance, this might look like it's just a bad throw from Purdy, but I don't believe that's the case. I actually believe Purdy put this one exactly where he was trying to put it. I think this was a wrong route by Christian McCaffrey. That's what I think happened here, because you see Purdy, he throws it early, and when he throws it, it looks like if you were trying to hit, get towards the 1st down marker and have a big catch right around the 1st down marker, which makes sense on 3rd and 12, that's exactly where you would want to put that football. I think it was McCaffrey who cut a little bit early, and part of me wonders if that was because, he wasn't at the line, but instead was a few yards back. Maybe that kind of disrupted him and caused him to run the route poorly. But either way, him and Purdy not being on the same page results in it not being a 1st down one. I'm not saying it would have been a 1st down if McCaffrey cut a couple yards later, but you certainly had a good chance of having it be a 1st down if it was the proper route ran. And this happened a couple times. Seemed like they weren't on the same page on several plays, not McCaffrey, but just San Francisco in general. But going over here, you knew San Francisco wasn't going to stay dead for long. They weren't able to score until, a while. Like we're, here with 8 minutes left in the second quarter, still no points on the board, but you knew they weren't going to get shut out for the entire game. This play, it's zone coverage, and you're going to have Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel are running deeper routes going over the middle. This is trying to get those Eagles players who are playing zone to also run over the middle, and it's actually George Kittle in motion who's the check down. And again, it's just, star player after star player we're naming here, right? With Samuel, Ayuk, Kittle. Like there's just so many guys you have to keep track of. Usually you might say, well, how could you lose track of a guy like Kittle? Well, when you're, on that side of the field and the two players you see are Samuel and Ayuk, it makes a little bit more sense. Watch as you see Purdy takes the snap. He's going to look over and he flips it to Kittle at this point. You see there's just nobody on that side of the field. And listen, Philadelphia still has to make that play. They do, right? Obviously. But at the same time, it's great stuff by Kittle and by the 49ers to just get themselves in these positions to where, you can lose someone like George Kittle. Again, if this happens to any other team, we're sitting here saying, how did you let this happen? This is the dumbest thing ever. Here, it's still not good, but you can kind of understand it, because watch what Kittle is about to do in open space here. As you see, he's able to really move, picks up a ton of yards, able to get inside the 10-yard line, right around the 10-yard line. Really good stuff by him, good stuff by the play calling, and good stuff by Purdy to be able to, find the right guy, right? Because at the same time, yes, it was wide open, but you still have to get through your progressions and see, who you're supposed to hit. He did all of that very well. This play is fun. Again, one of the underrated aspects of Purdy is his rushing ability. 1st down and 10. This is, I believe, the very next play. Watch what's going to happen. Purdy takes the snap, and you see that doesn't love what he sees, is able to kind of get around one tackle, gets to this spot where it doesn't look great at this point. It doesn't look like you're going to get too many yards if you're Brock Purdy, but Purdy's not someone, who can't move. He's someone who can move a little. Watch what he's going to do. As you see, he somehow bounces off a defender, eventually tries to bounce off another one. That one goes less well for Purdy, but, maybe was feeling himself a little bit after making one guy miss. Felt like he could make another one miss, which why not at that point? Try to get a super highlight reel level play. Didn't quite work out that way, but still, I was able to, break the first tackle, and I do wonder if, him being soaking wet made it more difficult to tackle. I don't know, but either way, good stuff there by Purdy. But again, they were able to get stuff like this going, where what's going to happen on this play is it's going to be a zone coverage. Looks like cover 3 zone blitz, similar to what they were doing earlier. So run a play action, and they're running a play action in a more unique way. They're kind of faking a more non-traditional handoff, but either way, they're not actually going to hand the ball off. The whole goal is to obviously get linebackers out of position. And as you see, when this happens, it really works out. Again, look at how open Kittle is. And it's one of those things where it's like, man, how do you let Kittle get open on a play like this? But at the same time, it's like, well, you have so many other guys you have to pay attention to. But then if you pay too much attention to Kittle, well, then, it's the Shanahan scheme, and they can run all over you. It's just such a difficult team to defend against. As you see, Purdy is able to hit Kittle. They're able to pick up a really big chunk play. Again, look at how he just falls forward like that, drives forward. Kittle's so difficult to bring down in open space. He really is. This play, I thought, was in many ways the play of the game. So they're currently showing the rushing yards on the screen, but just to set up the situation, I'll let you know what's happening. The Eagles have just made it a one-score game. It's 21-13, so 8-point game, and it's a first down and 10 right here late in the third quarter. So, everyone talks about comebacks oftentimes in a way of, if a team comes back, you credit the offense typically, but a lot of times it's the other way around. If your team is winning and then the other team starts to come back, a great way to prevent the comeback is, instead of not letting them score, to keep scoring. And that's what they're going to do on this play. It's a relatively simple play, right? The concept itself, you wouldn't think would go for a score. It's zone coverage, and it's just designed to get Deebo Samuel the ball underneath, gain some yards on 1st and 10. As you see, Purdy is going to take the snap. He looks over, Deebo Samuel wide open. Okay, cool, easy, read. It's, the way this play was designed. This is one of those when people try to discredit Purdy on this play, they kind of have an argument, right? I think that he does a lot of good stuff on other plays, but this one, definitely Samuel is wide open. As you see, you're going to notice that Samuel somehow breaks that tackle. And even after that, even after sort of an improbable broken tackle, even right here, you're still looking at this like, okay, he's probably going to get tackled soon though, right? Well, no, watch Samuel blow by everybody. He's going to eventually get into the end zone for a touchdown, and that's just a huge play, right? I mean, the difference between being up 8 and being up 15 is obviously massive, so being able to make something like that happen, just really big for the 49ers. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I mean, huge win for them. You have to look at them as favorites in the NFC at this point. I just don't get how you don't look at them as that. I mean, the other two teams I think people talk about are Dallas and Philadelphia, and they've destroyed both of them in their head-to-head matchups. So with those two things, I mean, and also just how they've kind of beaten up on everybody. They had a bad couple of weeks in the middle of the season, but as of right now, I mean, honestly, you kind of got to look at them as Super Bowl favorites, I think, just how they're playing. So plenty of season left. Who knows what's going to happen, but definitely, if you're a 49ers fan, you're feeling pretty good right now. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.